Katie. Oh my God. Are we really doing this?
We are. Welcome to Higher Downloads, where two moms, entrepreneurs, and spiritual seekers are getting real about doing our best to live life in alignment.
Yeah, and by getting real, we mean the raw, unfiltered voice memo version of ourselves.
And you know what we're really obsessed with lately: higher
hmm
downloads.
You know that moment when clarity arrives seemingly from nowhere? That's it. That's the higher download from your highest self.
Exactly, because we know everyone has the ability to access their own higher downloads. So nothing is off limits here. Everything in the wheel of life, from career, spirituality, motherhood, relationships.
Yep. Everything. And really through the lens of higher consciousness and joy. And we have to share our higher downloads too, right? So grab your coffee
Or your crystals, or whatever you need to have fun with us.
and get ready to tune in to your own wisdom channel because receiving higher downloads means you can live your life in HD.
Higher Downloads starts now. Welcome back to this episode of the lows and downloads.
So yeah, I mean, it's still higher downloads, but we kind of been like I would say rolling in the deep lately. And then I've been singing Shorty got low, 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 wah, wah.
Without the apple bottom jeans. So we have been struggling the last few days, and coming into this recording, we decided we're just going to keep it real.
Keep it real.
That was part of the commitment, was keep it real, and we are usually flying so high when we record. So I
Yeah.
think this will be a nice change of pace. But essentially, we're feeling low vibes, and we're going to talk about the lows on the low vibe spectrum and what's going on.
Yeah, we were actually, typical texting, voice memoing about it. And I think I was just like, all right, I think that's what we have to talk about because I can't really fake it. And life's been lifing a lot lately. And man, our community's been so active lately with comments and reaching out and follows and questions. And I'm like, I really think we owe it to them to say, hey, like, shit happens to us too. And
Oh, yeah.
things get a little low sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I really appreciated one of the memos that I'd sent back to you, and you were kind of talking about how you were feeling, in the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And my feedback was, well, yeah, just because you've done all this inner child healing work, just because you know about energy, just because you know how to manage what you're attracting, doesn't mean you're immune from the nervous system responses and immune from feeling the highs and lows. In fact, that's kind of the point.
It is the point. And God, I needed you to say that so bad. I didn't know I needed you to say that, but when you said it, it allowed me to access self-compassion that I didn't have at that time. Because I was in this moment of, I recognize the tools that I have through therapy, through my spiritual awakening. I recognize all the things. And as a dear friend said to me, she goes, it's like you just want to be toxic, right? I was like, yeah, I just kind of want to be toxic for a little while. Like, I kind of just want to like sit in it. But here's the thing is feeling it, just like you said, is an important part of it.
It is.
Instead of what I call the toxic
Resisting.
resilience and
Yeah.
resisting it. So it just doesn't feel good. I really like the flying high. So thank you for that. I really needed to be reminded that just because you're doing the work, just because you have the tools, doesn't mean life's not going to life and stuff's not going to come at you. And you have like it's a human response to feel anger or frustration or, yeah.
It is. Yep. So how do we get here? What would you say is contributing to feeling lower than normal, right? Because this is kind of like if we're at a certain energetic baseline, right? Usually flying high, usually feeling good, then this feels different, right? You can feel the contrast.
Okay, the contrast. Oh my God. I'm literally just, as you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, I've totally recalibrated my baseline. I am going to be visiting some family members later this week where the baseline is very different. Thank God for that recalibration, but I still be feeling low. Okay, what got us here? You want me to go first?
Sure.
I'm not ready to say much more, but a friend who's a medium and energetic told me that based on some recent activity in my life, a karmic scab has been removed. Is that not like
So like the wound is
The
reopened.
wound is reopened. A
Mm.
karmic, like soul level hard thing has been reopened. And it was
Oh,
like karmic scab.
and it got ripped off.
Yeah,
Oh.
ripped off without permission, right? But I guess the thing I know about physical human healing in our skin is that sometimes that regenerates and sends more white blood cells to emergency, emergency, we need help here. So I can feel that in
Mhm.
but it like also still hurts and is leaking. And it has, if it's a karmic scab and it's a soul level, then it's not just involved with me. And so I have some people in my life be spinning out. Some people in my life be a little chaotic. And it's just a reminder that everything's energy. And so, despite me going about my happy little life and then, like, bam, their chaos, they're really like, I mean, it felt like I got swirled up in a tornado of
Mm.
drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Those outside influences, man. We live with other humans all day, every day, don't we?
I know, funny how we got on this earth. Like a few other billion people. You have to deal with them.
Sometimes they make it complicated, not
Yeah.
sometimes, all the time. So, okay. So, other outside influence, there's chaos stirred up.
Chaos is stirred up, and then yeah, just like other like random annoying things that would normally be fine on their own, right? It's the compounded effect. So we have this like ridiculous neighbor who's making ridiculous choices, and it's just annoying AF. And then my book's coming out, and I keep having these really interesting things that are happening to me where, okay, you build houses. So in effect, you're building something physical, and then ultimately it's for someone else. Well, I like wrote a book that I believe I'm building ultimately for other people. But what's fascinating is I've been having a few people act like this is my ultimate like self-promotion opportunity,
Mm.
and them mirroring back this weird thing about like it being about my ego versus my soul's work has really been
Ooh, like
like
writing a book is just like some kind of self-flagellation.
self like promotion
What?
situation. And
Not like the book's content is for the world to consume.
yeah, like
Interesting.
and I literally told this woman, she asked me some really pointed questions, and I said I literally feel like it's my life's work. And she retorted back that she didn't see it that way. She felt like my star was rising and I was someone to watch around self-promotion. And it was really okay, thank you.
This is new
I
information.
know I didn't get to tell you that on the voice memo. I just gave you a little nugget that like the phone call with that entity was hard.
Interesting.
And people like it's just projection, and yet you just have this like moment of like ew. So
Mm.
just like a lot of like nothing overly major, but all compounded. The energy shift, plus it was a full moon, just be feeling real icky,
Yeah, it never
low.
feels good to have somebody else reflect back a totally different storyline than what you know to be true about
What
yourself.
your
That's
internal
always
state
tough.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
and intentions. So that's a little bit about me. You want to share how did you get to your lows?
Well, I find it's very easy for me to slip back into lower vibration when I'm off my routine.
Say
And
less.
and this last we again, it's hard because it's all good things,
Hmm.
right? But the good things contribute to the feeling lower vibration. So part of it was just having a very busy few weeks. And then we went on a week-long trip where we're staying with family, which was absolutely delightful. However, no alone time. Travel is stressful. Children with you all day, every day when they're not usually with you all day, every day. Drinking almost every day. And my body does not like that. It definitely does not like alcohol every day. But it was so fun. We're on a boat. We're on the lake.
Yeah,
We're
with
hanging with family we
family.
don't see that often. So it's like that compound effect of like, I definitely have it in my design that I like alone time. I like solitude time, just even energetically. Like I'm very aware of my surroundings energetically, and so when I don't have that time to have a baseline by myself, it
Hmm.
really impacts me. So that combined with flights getting canceled the day we're supposed to come home,
I
the
know.
day we're supposed to come home is a tight turnaround because we have my husband's 40th birthday party booked the literal next day.
Yep.
So that was a huge scramble. And then again, drinking, partying, friends, nonstop traveling around. Long story about a whole car being in a different city
Flew in and out of different cities because of the
because of the
canceled
flight
flights and
cancellation. So,
yeah.
oof, it has just been a lot on my nervous system. And hormonally too. I mean, I am in my cycle. I'm about to start my period any day now, and
Yeah, which is so real. Oh, I
it
didn't
is
even
so
bring up the
real.
hormone stuff for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a fun little concoction of annoying, frustrating, irritating.
Insert all the.
And I know it just is going to take time. So, but it was really funny, yet like yesterday, day before, when we were messaging back and forth. I'm like, sometimes what we'll preface, because we are very energetically aware in our friendship, sometimes we'll preface, hey, this message is about to be low vibrational. So if you're not in the
Not if you're not
mood,
ready for it. Yeah.
don't listen right now. Come back later. So like I always appreciate that instead of just like slamming me with hard shit when I'm like having the best day of my life or whatever, right? It's always nice to like have that preface. But you're like low vibration. I'm like, send me all the low vibrations. I'm ready for it. I receive.
I want it. Yeah.
This is gonna match my energy right now.
It did. It was like kind of a birds of a feather thing, right? You're like, oh, like my friend, ooh, let's be toxic for a second. And you know what's cool is like I used to have some relationships based on just always bitching and just always doing that. And what feels different, which I do want to reflect back, and I don't know if I've said to you out loud, is there's just it comes with awareness. And that's a big change for me is it's not just like instant attraction over low vibrational frustration, like just like a bitch fest would really be it. It's like we're highly aware of the place that we're in and the energy that we're bringing. We don't want to stay here. We know that there's a different direction we want. Just right now, this is where we are, and an acknowledgement of that. Just even that alone has felt very different.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yeah, no, I do. I greatly appreciate it because it's so easy with friendships to get into a habit of thought, a habit of conversation. And again, law of attraction, that is all that this is law of attraction. And so we have set an intention of like, we are ultimately trying to, over time, have our baseline be at a certain elevate as high as possible, right? Like that's the dream. And so with that intention, we're doing our work. Like this is the low, and you have to have the yin and the yang. You have to have the high, the low. You can't feel happy without feeling sad. So this is just a phase, and it's kind of fun to talk about when we talk so much about feeling so good and all the tools. So
good.
This is good. It's important. So.
It is. The other thing I'm really appreciating that we're bringing to the forefront for our community, we're not a wellness podcast in that traditional sense, but you mentioned hormones and your cycle, and keep it real. Like we're souls having a human experience, and this human body, these human bodies that we got put in, which are female, or sex is female, comes with this hormonal shift. And I'm in perimenopause, and I went through this I've been in this like HRT, human hormone. Ooh,
it's your cells turn over every 7 years or whatever. Maybe this is like our, what is it, fourth? I can't do math. Don't ask me to do math.
No one's holding accountable to that. Human replacement. Isn't there a whole thing? Okay, different podcast, but isn't there a whole thing about where people think souls walk into human bodies?
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, pin in that. So that did not happen to me. I'm actually talking about hormones, hormone replacement therapy. And it is wild. Like, there was a moment I didn't recognize myself. So you realize, I mean, hormones are really the communication carrier of everything in our bodies. So as our hormones naturally move up and down, and then we're trying to keep a baseline of them, it's like my body's a science experiment all over again, and that plays a big role in it too. So it's like that part's hard because I'm also aware of the material world thing that's happening to my physical human body. So blah. I don't have a conclusion.
I think we need to reshare it, but there is a documentary about perimenopause that I think was published in like January of 2026, and it's out there now. You can rent it on Amazon, and it's in a few other places. But it like that one combined with the Oprah Winfrey's like perimenopause special.
Yeah,
I just feel like I've been building my toolbox of information about this, and I've been feeling pretty good about it after watching those. But then let me contrast this. This is where I'm picking up on the low vibe. What I've noticed on social media lately, because I am getting all kinds of perimenopause people and just people my age talking about building muscle and health and whatever, right? And so perimenopause and menopause is a big part of that conversation. And what I have seen a lot of the wellness people, especially the nutritional wellness people, the
Mm.
like holistic wellness people, they talk a lot as if there's something wrong with you for having perimenopause early
What?
and trying to like counteract it.
But it's
Like,
literally a natural cycle of our bodies, and you
and
don't get to choose when it happens.
and that is part of what I have been like having the ick about when I'm seeing people talk about like you if you're having perimenopause at this age, like that there's something wrong with your body. And I'm like, I'm also reading because imagine if that was the only information that I had.
Okay, so then now we're just in shame cycle.
Exactly. And I'm like, guys, it's literally a normal part of the process. And I just want to clarify too, I think I had a misunderstanding. While we're really going deep on the hormones right now.
Hmm.
That's okay. I really had a misunderstanding, and I was Googling this about is hormone replacement therapy going to change the process? And
Okay.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does not change what your ovaries and everything are putting out for hormones. All it does is help you feel better in the
Because
process.
I have a friend who read all the books and did all the things, and we had coffee the other day, and she created a spreadsheet of the symptoms because there's just no definitive thing out there. I think she shared it with me. It's like 80 different symptoms that she's been tracking over time. I've tried to convince her to use AI and to create like a tracker for women, like a tool. So shout out to Kavita for that. And hopefully she will follow up on it. But it's wild. And it does bring some anger and resentment to me, and probably even stirred up by some karmic, my past life stuff. But it's like no wonder the medical industry thought women in midlife were crazy.
Right.
And I'm using air quotes if you're not watching this and you're just listening, but the women were crazy in midlife because when our hormones dip, we're on a very different hormone cycle than men, and we just haven't been, we've talked about this before, women just haven't been studied at the same level in the medical studies as much. And so, yeah, it's literally bringing a baseline back. Like men just have much more of a flat hormone cycle or 24-hour, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then for women too, it's just that it changes very differently across different women, right? So your experience of which hormones are fluctuating right now will be different this month as they will be next month, and they'll be different for mine at your age versus my age at different times. Like there is no pattern that's very cut and dry, and like we all know that linear men-oriented Western medicine is very much not open to that. Like they are freaked out by that.
No, God, imagine that. Imagine a world with cycles. It's called nature.
And you have to be like present with wherever you are right now,
Wherever you are right
not
now.
knowing exactly what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I just think about that patriarchal like narrative about linear expectation, predictability, status quo, like keeping this like constant production.
Yeah.
And that's just literally not how it works in nature. Like
Okay.
we've talked about that already.
Perfect segue.
Okay.
'Cause I was literally thinking about that
Yeah.
on this whole low vibrational thing, because in my past world, when I was feeling this way, I would try to grind through. I would try to, I'm so frustrated that I'm not going to be as productive today because I just don't fucking feel like it, And what I really appreciate about understanding energy and understanding resistance and understanding law of attraction is that in these moments, it's the time to feel it.
It is the time to feel it.
To pause and actually just be like, lean into it, but don't let yourself get caught in it, right? You can't let the law of attraction connect you and magnetize you to keep the momentum going in the wrong direction. You have to make that intentional choice. But if you resist it, what you resist persists. If you resist it, you're actually just attracting more of it.
I know. And I think that has just really opened up. Same, right? Same for me. That's how I coined the phrase toxic resilience. And what I really appreciate, we've talked about her a lot, but Abraham Hicks has really shifted my mindset. So it was more about like in the world, you're supposed to care about what you produce despite how it feels. And that's how I was taught, how I was raised, what I saw people model, exactly like you said, just grind through, just even if you don't feel like it. And what I've appreciated about the reframe is you should be caring about how you feel, because that will indicate what you can produce. or
Yes.
and I even I hesitate to say produce because I just mean like care about how you feel first. And so
Versus last.
versus
Yes.
last. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know what you're saying. So yeah, let's extrapolate a little bit. But if you care about how you feel first and you prioritize feeling good, the rest will follow. That's like a
Yes.
total reframe
A
from
complete reframe.
the world we were brought up with, industrialization, right? Where everything's about output, maximizing, and using human capacity and potential for machinery-like outputs, right? It's literally how they design.
Oh my God, I just had a little download right when you said treat like machinery. And I was like, that's probably where the 2 weeks of PTO in the whole year came from. Because you
Absolutely.
expect a machine is only going to be down for a max of 2 weeks in the year, and then you'll get that machine fixed right up.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know my issue with PTO.
So, yeah. It's a whole reframe. And if you don't understand that, rule, if you don't understand those laws of the universe, if you don't understand what's at play, I could see how easily you can get stuck in the trap because I used to live in that trap until I learned these like frameworks, right?
I think a lot of people still live in that trap. I think I intimately know people
Oh, same, a lot.
stuck
Yeah.
in that trap of like, and I think what really frustrates me about it, it's related to my book that's coming out, is why do we accept that? Why do we accept that we're stuck in systems and organizations and family cycles and communities that accept that feeling like shit is the norm?
I really think people are angry about it a lot, but I don't
I am seeing
think
that more.
that people know
How?
another way.
Yeah, what's the alternative?
And
right?
you really can't do something about something if you don't see another alternative. You have to really be a forward thinking,
Yeah.
creating from nothing kind of person. But that's why we have this podcast, because we want to try to like open that door and have people understand and see new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new ways of understanding the world and life and yourself. And so that's part of why we're even doing this.
It's a big part of why I'm doing it. And one of my little fun go-to phrases is because I would live and die and obsess over my to-do list. Look, I still have one and it's quite active. But I learned this idea of a to-be list.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're human beings, not human doings. So I have been really, that has a part to do with the how do you feel? Like, how do I want to be today? How do I want to approach the day and try to do it with more intentionality? It's just that like when you're down in the dumps, sometimes you're like, you know what I want to be today? Toxic.
Annoying.
Low.
Bitchy.
Yeah. Yeah. But when we do it with intentionality of like, I am here. It's not, I don't like it. I don't want to stay here.
I know I won't always be here.
I won't always be here. Remember that whole thing when we saw Abraham Hicks live and somebody was beating themselves up? Kind of like we were talking, beating themselves up about getting down in the troughs of life. And Abraham Hicks said, it's not that you go there. That's expected. That's human. It's that you don't stay there and you know how to get out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So we know we were going to get out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. At this point,
We
it's
just
just
be
a matter of time.
low. I want to keep singing that song.
And there have been several times where I'm feeling low and you're riding a high, and it's kind of like, aw, we can't match right now. In opposite ways too. Like when you're like struggling, and I'm like, I can't relate to that feeling, but I'm here for you.
I got you, girl.
Look at us. We're in it together right now.
Low. Shawty had them annoying emotions. This should not be doing this live.
I want you to keep going. You're good at making up songs.
I enjoy it. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I digress. So I guess Pod Squad, if you're out there feeling a little low vibes, you're not alone. I would say feeling it is critical. Find you a friend who's willing to hear a voice note or whatever that's like, hey, you got some time to feel some low vibe things. And you know what we don't do this to each other, and I appreciate it, is it's going to get better. You're really strong. You got this. Bitch, yeah, of course I'm strong. And of course I got this. But like, can you just allow me to have this moment? And you did allow me to have that moment there recently. So yeah, and then you let it pass through.
Yeah. And feel it too. Sitting with it. Not for too long. I will say there is this fun trick that Abraham talks about the 16-second rule.
17.
I think she changes it sometimes.
What?
I think it's going down. I've heard her
Shoot.
because I think, okay.
I need the buffer.
So what
What?
So what Abraham had said in the past is that the law of attraction, it's a time thing, right? So the more you spend time on something, the more you attract more of it, and you get energetic momentum because of the law of attraction.
Of physics too. An object in motion stays in motion in that direction. Yeah,
Yes. So her feedback is you can hit on something low vibrational, whatever it is, actually. It doesn't even have to be low vibrational. Whatever it is, you need to stick on it for, I think she actually started in the 20s. She would say like 20 seconds and then it's come down. She's getting like updates on the vibration.
Oh, man.
But at this point, it's 17 or 16, 17 seconds of if you stay on something for 17 seconds, that's when the next thing like comes to you and is attracted. So she's like always makes the joke, if you're going to talk about something shitty, do it for 16 seconds and then be done.
Yeah.
And also why on the opposite side of the coin, you have to really dwell for a while on the things you want more of. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I want this, oh, bon, and then gone. Like think about, hold that energy for 16, 17 seconds.
Yeah.
To let it continue to attract more and more.
Yeah, the dwelling is so interesting because why does it feel easier to dwell in the low than to dwell in the high? Like I can be around people who say that they have a dream or a goal, and within milliseconds of it coming out of their mouths, they're already saying why it can't happen. But like, whew, we can dwell in the low. I mean, I got family members who've been dwelling in the low for decades, girl.
That energetic momentum is strong. And I say this, when I see people that have strong energetic momentum, I'm like, it's going to take a while to slow down that momentum.
That's a good point.
If the train's moving 100 miles an hour, it's
for years.
It's for years,
yeah,
decades. It's going to be a lot harder to take longer to slow that down, slow the momentum and offset it with a new direction, right? You have to slow it down, stop, and then start going the other direction. So it takes time. But
it does. The other thing I will say that helps me too is to not get in that shame spiral of like, oh, here I go. Like, what's wrong with me? I guess, am I regressing in my awakening, or am I regressing in my self-actualization, whatever it is, like that I want to be better at. And it's like, no, don't let that be evidence of regression. Let that be evidence of being a human. And what I love about Abraham Hicks is like, what's just the next highest emotion available? You're not going to go from feeling angry to joyful. Like that's just too strong of a pendulum swing. But you could go from angry to frustrated. And maybe that's a little lighter, So it's just, I don't know. Journaling helps me through it. So I was just thinking about our pod squad. So like journaling helps me through it. Recently punched lots of pillows. Feels very good.
Breathwork. Just went to that last night. Breathwork and journaling.
My physiological sigh is my go-to, where you go and then you sip in more, and then in the longer exhale, the physiological sigh is really good if you can't go to a breathwork class moment. Yeah, the longer exhale matters.
There's also tons of breathwork online that you can just do on apps. But I did my walking meditation this morning.
Oh, I love a good walking meditation. Yeah.
That was really nice. Yeah, nature. Nature's a really important one. Getting that sunrise, sunlight in your eyes, get those hormones balanced. Take a little nature walk, touch some grass.
Yeah, nature will reflect. So I was having, rough time this weekend and went on a little walk. And I thought it was hilarious because this big old fat blue jay was dive bombing on a squirrel. Like they were having a little quarrel. And I was just like laughing so hard because I'm like, look, even our species, like other species are having little, whatever issues. And it made me laugh. And it also kind of lightened the thing of like, oh, what would source, what would God, what would universe, what would love say seeing me in these quarrels? Like maybe they're laughing at these, like me and a blue jay, And then it lightened it a little bit. Yeah. So nature has a fun way of helping us just reframe or reconnect.
And I love the actual, like we always talk about, if you're in a bad mood, you're going to run into drivers that are in bad moods.
Oh,
so like
gosh.
If you're in this energy, you're running into the animals that are bickering and fighting.
I did.
Hilarious.
Yeah. The law of attraction is so real.
Oh, I love all the evidence that exists out there. That always helps me just be like, oh yeah. And I think the other cool thing that she always says, which helps me feel better, is it's a universal law, right? It doesn't pick and choose. It's consistent. There is no there's no being good. You know how we have a lot of this belief with like religious culture that if you're good, you get some different outcome. And what I love about law of attraction and the laws of the universe is it's not about being good or bad. If you're magnetizing, it applies to everyone equally all the time. So there is none of this like those two frameworks in that way do not cross over, which makes me feel a lot better because it's not
you
about
don't have to earn
goodness.
it. You don't have to earn it. Yeah. That's a different podcast. I'm to go somewhere. I'm holding back. All right. So thank you for being in the trenches with me. And I'm really hoping that it's helped someone realize that it's okay.
It is. We're all going to have our lows.
Mm-hmm.
Our lows and our downloads.
You can still get a download in the lows.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It just might be about, raging on something.
Yeah. So
be careful with those.
Be careful with those. Feel the feels. And until then, we are going to encourage you to continue to trust your higher downloads.
Wait, I have a good idea.
Yes.
You know how when we're feeling our lows, we often use our cards.
Oh my God.
To give us some guidance.
We do. That's right. And we were talking about Abraham Hicks today. And so I brought a deck.
Yay!
If we can do a little card pull, that might help to bring us some guidance. Maybe it'll just match our low energy. Maybe it'll just tell us. Well, let's just see.
Yeah, I'm going to say, what do we need to know? It's like, what do we need to know, universe? What would you like us to know right now? What would you like the listeners to know too?
What do you want the listeners to know?
Lows and downloads episode.
Yeah, where we might not be feeling our very best, where we could use some guidance. So I just did a big shuffle of this big card deck. It's actually from Abraham Hicks, where she talks about getting in the vortex, which is that really feeling the vibes to call things in. And I'm just going to fan these babies out and see, Katie, if you will just grab one and tell the listeners, what guidance did we just get?
Ooh, it says, I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire.
What? Okay, read more.
If we were a parent or anyone wanting to inspire positive behavior from another, we would do our personal vibrational work first.
You cannot make this up.
We would align with the source energy by envisioning the outcome we seek and by holding those involved in positive objects of our attention. We would not allow any current unwanted behavior to be the reason for our attention to them. Okay, I love this.
This is so big. As a parent, I can really relate to this.
Yes, and paying attention to the unwanted behavior is literally the law of attraction, magnetizing more of it. So align it, envisioning what we seek, envisioning what we desire as the outcome. Perfection.
Yeah, and just to kind of put it in pedestrian terms, it's like if your child's throwing a tantrum, if you just start throwing a tantrum in front of them and match that energy, now it's just a bunch of tantrums happening. But what she's saying is mind your inner world, because if you want to see that child change from tantrum, your energy really matters and changes. And, I actually shared with you that I felt like my son was going through some anxiety spikes recently. And I'm like, duh, my inner world is different, So say the front of it again?
I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire.
I will envision the behavior I desire to inspire, and then I will start with my internal state. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Great card for this conversation.
Wow. And that's how it works, peeps. That's how it works. All right. Well, until next time, trust your higher downloads.
You just experienced another higher download. We are so grateful you joined us on this journey.
Yep, so if you're feeling that high vibe energy and want more, subscribe wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if this episode sparks something in you, we'd be over the moon if you'd share it with someone who might need this download too.
Yep, connect with us on Instagram at Higher Downloads, where we share more behind the scenes magic and some bonus content.
You can also find full episodes, transcripts, show notes, and resources at higherdownloads.com.
Until next time, trust your downloads and keep vibrating higher.